Yo, welcome back to another episode of You Know Who's Dope. What up, Joe Cutter?
Joe Cutter, Fresh Coast, IGB, RPG, Mummy Fashion Show.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, San Jose.
Yo, a show about the up-and-comers of battle rap, man. And on this episode, since we're all about the GZ and PY level of this shit, we got the gatekeeper of that department, KOTD Fresh Coast. We got Malathion on the line. What's up, homie?
Hi. What's up, my G's? How you guys doing, man? Chilling with shit.
Good shit, man. Thanks for joining us, man. You know what? I just got to say, man, as far as you being involved on the team for the KOTD Fresh Coast, I think it only makes sense, man. You represent Project Blowed, and to me, and I know Joe, Project Blowed is a very important part of this battle rap shit, especially on the West Coast, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Did you, when you said time, the first time, man, did you know that it would become a fucking international phenomenon?
I honestly didn't know, and I was just doing it just because, like, you know, a lot of guys would, like, when I would just be like, all right, like, that's it, you know, just, like, kind of timing them, it was just, a lot of guys would try to keep going over, so I just screamed it just so it was kind of like an umpire calling fucking strike or out or some shit, you know, so, I mean, it turned into that, and then I started seeing other people using it, other leagues using it, and it was actually pretty cool, man, because it's like, it's just kind of throwing something new into the battle world, just to where, you know, it's like more structured on time instead of it just like going forever and dudes just rambling on.
Man, you should get T-shirts that say time and just fucking slang.
You know what he needs? You know what he needs? He needs a pulley system action figure that does like a karate chop.
Yes.
That would be fucking tight. You know, but I'm looking into like making like shirts and stuff and like little chains that are kind of like some Flavor Flav clock that say time on it or some shit, you know, like maybe get like some wooden pendants made or something tight, you know, because a lot of people just hit me up about that, you know, like from all over. They're just like, really, people just laugh about that shit and think it's pretty like tripped out, you know, so it went a pretty long way, man. I trip out off of it, so fuck it. I'm happy I was able to do that.
Well, man, that's become a thing that you actually, it's a goal as an up-and-coming battler, like, you know, like I wanted to do a battle where you're hosting and you say time. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit. Like you have to do that. If you're not doing that, then you're not even on the first level of this shit, PY or GZ, man. But what's your history, man, as far as like getting into this, like battle rap? I know you used to battle and shit, but like how did you get into this and eventually get your role that you have right now at the KOTD Fresh Coast?
Well, pretty much like I started off as, you know, battling. I was working with you know, assault and battling. I was battling. I did a battle. Well, I did my first battle with Grind Time against MC Deucer, and then as soon as I seen that, it kind of just like opened my eyes to what this was, and it was tight. It was kind of like a league, like a fight club or something, where everyone just meets up and they just beat the fucking shit out of each other in rap battle form, you know. So like it was really tight, and that intrigued me. So I just kept going, and one day I was like, you know, chilling with that absurd and shit. Everybody. They needed someone to hold a camera, and everybody there wasn't able to do it. So I did it in that day and ended up chopping it up with Lush. And then I did a big event. He came through. It was like Everybody Knows versus Uno Lavos, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that event at the Project Blowed. And when we did that, he seen me. I did an event at the Blowed. He just seen everything that was going on, and he was really feeling it. And was like, yo, you want to come, you know, work with Grind Time? I said, yeah. Started working with Grind Time, and then, you know, the whole falling out with Grind Time happened, and then we had Disaster vs. Cannabis, and then we moved up. We did, presented, we ended up presenting us wanting to join, and then, with King of the Dot, or I don't really know exactly how it was presented, but we ended up joining with King of the Dot, and then, here it is now, you know, and now it's kind of like, I'm happy there's a system to where we can always involve the up-and-comers and just find the new talent, because right now is the time where the audience is not just like focused on it just being, they just want to see Dumbfounded, or they just want to see so and so. Like now it's more like they're looking for new battlers that they want to follow, and they want to be a part of this whole entire movement as fans, you know. So like that's where now for the up and comers, it's easier for them to move forward and kind of like get in King of the Dot, because now we have a system to where like we're always looking for talent. Like it's like we're always trying to take talent, you know. It's just a fact of which event they get into, because we only get so many events because we're sharing it the same platform with the guys in Canada, which is like Calgary and, you know, Vancouver and all these places. So it's kind of like we're trying to share the same channel, so we only have so many events. But yeah, we're figuring out ways now to where we can extend it to where we're able to have more events, but we're still like, you know, all talking amongst each other, trying to get the best ideas and stuff. So, but that's pretty much how I got into it, and that's pretty much where it's at now. To like, you know, I'm able to help the up and comers, and then, you know, be a part of the main events, and, you know, going into what goes into plan those events. So it's been a crazy road, man, and I'm just happy I'm able to be here and just keep it moving, man.
It's good work you're doing, bro. I want to say this. As someone who knows Malathion, he's a good fucking dude. For people who don't, I think the testament that you could look at is that, you know, he's a fucking good guy that gives a shit about putting another cycle of talent into this fucking subculture. But I think it speaks volumes that you outlasted those group of you know, you said you started out with Absurd, and dare I even mention Christian. Those people got removed for their BS reasons. It's more than clear to an outside perspective that, you know, you stuck around for a good reason, and you actually have something to fucking contribute. And I think that's a testament to your existence, dude. Almost like a public servant to the scene, you know, like it's a selfless thing. You're getting these people in here, trying to just enrich the scene. Who do you think has been the most worthwhile person to come out of PY that is headed in a better direction to where we can see more on possibly a main channel, or even be one of these GZ gatekeepers for the new and improved prestigious facelift, if you will?
I think like coming up like in the Prove Yourself and Ground Zero, I think more like from the Prove Yourself, I think like dudes like Urban has like a lane in here, you know, like a dude that came up like Lex D, you know, a G4 and dudes like that. Like these type of dudes will be, yeah, you know what I mean? And these dudes are like, can really move forward. But it came from like from Prove Yourself. Like I'm thinking like a Megadeth. Like these guys are gonna be the dudes who are gonna be in the top in GZ, but this is just off the top of my head. Like I have emails and like Facebook with like some dope cats that I'm like, okay, like a Cali Boy Smooth. Like these guys are guys that are making moves, you know, because they're just coming on here and their energy is just getting picked up, and that's really where it's at. It's just the whole energy, and that's like the delivery and all that. So that's really where I tell battlers like like. Everybody has bars. Like, this is not on the bar content. This is just on the overall presenting it, because, like, I know they got bars because I wouldn't have put them on if I didn't think they had bars. But I feel like the dudes who are coming up right now who are still kind of sitting in the PYs, like, the way to get out of it is, like, are you going to make a name for yourself? Not even get out of the PY, because the PY is even going to be even tougher now. You know what I mean? It's not going to be just, like, people are going to feel, oh, I'm in the bottom. Like, no, it's like, dudes are going to be happy that they're in that shit, because they're going to be like, damn, like, fuck, now I have to, like, you have a whole other league, a whole other, I guess stage you would call it, is to get through, which is the Ground Zeros, which is going to be even harder just to get to where the main channel is at, because we want to do it like the MMA and have dudes feel like they're training for fights and getting in there and, you know, building their name up and understanding what it is to brand the name and stuff. So it's kind of like the dudes who are like sitting there, you know, rehearsing all the time, making sure that their memory is on point. Like, no matter what happens, like, something can go off in the crowd, they need to know their shit to where they're keeping it moving. The energy, the delivery, the projection, just like the body language, just your mind. Like, you can tell when someone's in that zone, and they're like, no matter what it is that they're doing. Like, we need a guy who can turn that on and at any moment, you know what I mean, and be like ready to go in there and just, you know, do what they do. So like, that's really like where I see the dudes who are coming up. Those are just to name a few. You know, there's a lot more, but that's just really what I see is for them to kind of move forward and to keep it moving like a wheel, because that's what we're trying to do is have King of the Dot just moving like a wheel.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's the right move, man. From the standpoint of King of the Dot, like, definitely, man. It gives the up and comers really something to strive for, so they come with their A game and their best performance. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's up.
It's a good look, man, to just kind of sit and eat crow too, and be thankful just to be a part of the platform too. I know the staff looks at that in a better light, opposed to the people that are complaining about their placement on shit. You know what I mean? Because as they make it more of a prestigious thing, it's gonna. I was just talking to MALEKO about it. You know, there's people like Poe Rich on there, people like Rosenberg Raw going to GZ. Like, when people see that hopefully is going to project comfort in a lot of these people to where they won't feel like it's a downgrade or like getting demoted or whatever. And it also depends on your opponent too. You know, like that Philip Solo wise guy thing. Like, this fool Philip Solo kind of destroyed this guy, this wise guy, and wise guy just happened to be going through some mental breakdown where he was throwing broccoli everywhere, and it was kind of that political kind of you know, it was that political standpoint right there where, you know, if your battle is one-sided, the placement of it might be jeopardized. But now that everything's prestigious, everyone needs to just be happy that they're on the fucking playing field at all, you know.
This is really up to you, you know, and I'm just happy that I'm able to sit here and to find these and to find the battlers and to be, you know, look for the talent. I'm always gonna try my hardest to get whoever I can on, put them where I can, make as much, make the moves that I can make when I'm there. You know, I'm not gonna try to get over on anybody or put anybody in a situation that's gonna make them feel a certain way or something, or you know what I mean, like. And I always told myself that that's what I wanted, how I wanted to be. And I just kept to that, and that's why I've lasted through everybody, man. Like, I always knew, like, you know, like, I just never wanted to be that. I always never wanted to be that person that, oh, Malathion took this. I don't need to take anything. You know what I mean? I don't need to take anything. I don't need to do nothing like that. I'm just here to give to the culture that's been given to me my whole life. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Not being a sneaky, slimy snake definitely works in your favor, bro.
Being from the Project Bloat and being from my Cruz Cola and Chamber, like, that's really how we train, how we've been trained. It's just to be like, you know, be humble, be loyal, and just like make sure that it's about the culture, man. Because really, that's really, everyone says, oh, it can't be about this, or they make fun of that or the culture, but that's really what it's about. You know, at the end of the day, we're all in this together, because if you guys never showed up for a battle, then we wouldn't have no battles to even put online. So it's like we're all in this shit together. You know what I mean? So
on a similar but different foot, what is the Fresh Coast outlook of the return of A and B? Because I see a lot of
good
a lot of people that you know kind of rely on the King of the Dot platform. Going and doing stuff with that league. I've been invited, but I'm definitely very hesitant, just based on a respectful, like a political standpoint. You know, I've seen hearsay about if you go to this league, you know, you won't. It's not going to be easy to function in King of the Dot. Like,
basically, what Joe's trying to say is, dude, if we battle on A and B, are we fucked in KOTD? Just say it, Joe.
No, you're not. Certain people are, dude. I mean, and I agree, dude. Like, I've told Absurd straight up, dude. It's just like, you know, like, you're kind of tainted, bro. And a lot of people don't want to, you know, have your face in their battle because they're, you know, they're afraid of the outcome, and it just kind of creates this weird kind of tension. But there, you know, there's been like my best friend Fredo. He's went and done a battle in A and B. Didn't seem to have any kind of backlash. But I've also seen other people, maybe of a lower caliber, do that and then get completely crucified. What is the overall outlook on that?
You know, everybody has their own feelings on that. Like, the way I look at it is, if a battler wants to go and battle on other leagues, then that's they're more than welcome to. But by the time they come and hit the King of the Dot, it's like we want to have that top performance. Like, some battlers are like, well, I need to get these battles off. Well, don't get mad if we look at your stocks a certain way. Like, we look at your name a certain way. It's like you do something. You go and you do someone does a certain performance on assault and battling or a smaller league, or even just, you know, something that's not really on getting a gang of views. It shows how people brand themselves. They look at it as like a brand, like a battler. Each battler is a brand. Like Joe Cutter is a brand. MALEKO is a brand. You know what I mean? Malathion is a brand. So it's like you're branding, you're putting yourself out as a brand and looking at it as, okay, well, if why are you selling your brand in this spot over here when you can rise your stocks up and make it look like you're official in this thing, like Anderson Silva. You won't see Anderson Silva just be like, okay, well, we're going to pay you this much, or whoever the top MMA fighter is, we're going to pay you this much to come fight in this gym over here. They're going to be like, nah, it's all right because, you know, we're doing this. But then a battler can be like, well, what's King of the Dot doing for me? You know, because I've heard that a lot. Well, what are you guys doing for me? Well, what is this? And it's like, well, we're giving you an opportunity. But then it's like, and then I just say, well, if you weren't battling in all these other leagues, then you would have taken that opportunity and you could have done some. You could have used half of those bars that probably got some dope reaction and only got so many views or views of people that it's not really doing anything when you could have gotten that over here.
I mean, I look at it like when I'm battling in like a power and respect league or whatever, I'm like trying to practice so that when I get a King of the Dot match, this is just me, man. I'm gunning for King of the Dot. I want to be fucking with that shit, and so I'm just trying to practice in these smaller leagues so that I'm ready. And it's definitely helped me grow, man. And I figured out what to do.
And that's cool because like people can do whatever it is they want, and it just depends on the battler. Like if they really need a battle, or if they need this. To me, I don't really care. Like I just look at it as once those King of the Dot cameras are on, and I get someone to battle. I take it as like, okay, well, I'm putting you on it, and I'm pretty much just co-signing you to come do a performance. And then once they come and they're fucking up, or they're like forgetting their lines, or they're not doing the thing, I look at it as like, fuck, man, like. And I think back, like, yeah, this dude was taking battles in all these fucking other places. For me, it was like, fuck, okay, well, I look at it as like, well, go back and finish taking those shit somewhere else and go do what you got to do because now, like, you know, you either someone's burnt out or they run out of bars or they get, you know what I mean? Or they're used to a certain crowd because they're always going to these certain events, and then once they see another crowd, they get all nervous. I don't know.
I've got I got a couple different standpoints. I can understand it from a perspective of not spreading yourself too thin.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of these kids want to do like a quantity over quality, which kind of touches on what you were saying. But I've noticed that there has been exceptions. You know, there's been people like myself, Fredo, Reverse Live, people that have been able to have those couple of main page King of the Dot battles, and then off the strength kind of be in demand to do these smaller leagues. Myself, you know, I'll do a PNR battle. I've done 3 of them. The mistake I see these leagues making a lot is that they have conflicting fucking dates with these big fucking with these bigger, you know, battles. Like if you're not being aware of what's going on, it turns into something that's counterproductive real quick. Like Salt and Battling, they wanted me to battle QP, which is someone who backed out on me, which is some before, and someone I would obviously take serious. But when there's that much baggage, it's just really hard to fucking commit to that shit. Because what if, you know, no contract? If the dude backs out, then what? I turn down a battle on a fucking bigger league. You know, like people need to be aware of that shit. I think there's ways for these little leagues to exist if there is a slight affiliation and communication with the other leagues to where they can make themselves viable to, you know, kind of like UBR, a King of the Dot affiliated with them.
Yeah, I was doing that with Daily Duels for a long time. Like I would go attend their events and I would go, you know, talk, and then I would just build friendships with the battlers because like we needed battlers to hit ground zero. So my whole thing was to get someone to prove yourself. And then really to prove yourself. Like that's what that means. Like I want someone to come and show and prove themselves and why I should give them a ground zero. Like when you go for an interview, like how are you gonna help this company? That's what they always ask in interviews. Like what are you gonna do? I'm gonna come destroy shit like this. And we go, oh my God, this dude killed it. Okay, let's give him one more. If he does this again, it's not a fluke. He's dope. We'll give him a higher battler after this one. So the first battle, he kills it. Second battle, he gets a pretty more doper name. Not even a doper name, but just a guy who's more seasoned. He goes and kills this dude. Boom, he moves up. Now he's getting a dude who's up there really seasoned, and they're both. And now he's battling a guy who's like, I need to get in ground zero now, Malathion. I'm ready to murder somebody. I need this. I'm ready to fucking kill somebody. Okay, I got got you the battler. Boom, put them up against each other. And then that's how Danny Myers versus, I think, what was it, Rum Nitty? When the Danny Myers versus, which one was that one? The one that went super crazy.
Yeah, the Lima Bean in the Time Machine. Yeah, that's Danny Myers and
Danny Myers. That's how those get set up. You know what I mean? Because those guys just popped up, or just like ready to kill each other, because that was just bubbling on the outs, and then they came out, they murdered each other, and that was that. You know, and now these dudes are all over the place, and that's really what I'm trying to do now. So when I would attend these daily duel events, I would go and I would find like a dude like a Psychosis, or find like a pick up a Lex B, and even a Crazy K. Crazy K was fucking funny as shit. You know what I mean? It's just he's doing other things in life. So
I served Crazy K, by the way. Go ahead, sorry.
You know, like he's just fun. Like there's lanes for every type of battler. If they come out and you're unique and you're able to do it, look at Tiger Ty, look at Uno Lagos. Like these guys all have lanes for themselves. Like a Joe Cutter, like what you do, bro. Like this shit's crazy. There's a lane for like a MALEKO, but it's just now about are we gonna now it's about, okay, well, now we know that. Where do we take it from here now? Okay, well, let's get these battles. Now it's like, okay, I know how MALEKO battles because he's battled with us a couple times. I've seen his battles. Okay, well, then I would match him up with someone like this because this is what's going to have the replay value. And we want people to think like, oh, yeah, that shit MALEKO did was really tight. You know, I fuck with that. You know, he all 3 rounds were dope. He wrote it really well. He had no fillers. Shit was cracking. You know what? Okay, let's get him a doper battle.
That's what I'm going to do, bro. That's what I'm going to do. My next KOTD match, I'm doing all that. I appreciate the advice.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm using you as an example. So as for everyone who's listening, who's trying to get in, prove yourself in Ground Zero, like my email is still the same, malathion@kingofthedot.com. And, you know, or you can hit me up on Twitter or Facebook or wherever. And, you know, like, pretty much, like, I see everything, but I have to take what's popping out. You know what I mean? I have to take, like, okay, this guy. And sometimes I pick certain guys that people are like, why did you book this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? And a lot of the time it's like I have to bring in guys who've never battled before. But now we're making it to where we're going to have prove yourself events where it's just nothing but prove yourselves and guys who haven't battled but up and coming prove yourselves. Then we're going to have the GZs as to where we're going to have like the headline to pay the up and coming, to pay a battler who's up there, and then have him battle like an up and coming GZ head, trying to get him to, you know, cross over into the king of the dot realm. So that's really what we're trying to do, and then have like all GZs as the guys who are like, you know, killing shit, and we pretty much want them to be ready for King of the Dot, as to where we can have guys from King of the Dot come to GZ and guys from GZ go to King of the Dot, back and forth, and make it to where it's like, you know, even GZ is one of the top battle leagues or battle branches off of King of the Dot that's cracking just as much as other battle leagues are. You know what I mean? So
you know, that's why we're doing this show, man. We're trying to shed light on the up and comers, and I know there's a lot of them, man. I don't even want to know how many rappers hit you up on the daily, man.
Man, it's crazy, man. Like my phone, like my, you know, my everything, emails, my Instagram pictures, people do writing shit on there. So like, oh, let me get up. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's cool, man. Like it has to be done, and I'm glad I'm the person who has to do it.
One of the best ways these kids could keep a level head while trying to climb through these ranks, I think, do exactly the opposite of what Foul Father does.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Yeah, like really, like I don't even like I'm saying this because, like, you know, Foul Father, he's cool, man. I chilled with the dude. I've hung out with him. You know,
I was one of the dudes trying to fucking help him out, but it got to that point where it was just like, I can't ride with this shit, man.
I don't even know that dude, man, but I'm afraid of him, so I ain't gonna say a shit.
Yeah, he's a really turfy dude, man. Like he's really out there living it. You know what I mean? So he's probably going through some things, man. That's why I always just like don't really take him as, you know, people call me like, hey, Foul Father told me this, and I don't want to be scared at an event. I'm like, man, like I talked to my father, and he's cool, man. He understands. He just goes through a lot. And he just starts, you know, ain't nobody there telling him not to do shit. So I mean, he's doing his thing, man. So I mean, but real shit, like don't go on. If you're a battler, don't go on there like doing crazy shit. Like it's one thing to go up there and make your battle want to be seen, and you're putting blocks.
You can't threaten the staff in open forum, bro. That's definitely not how you're gonna fucking get it.
Yeah, I remember that too.
A lot of us are from the streets and shit. I fought a bum fucking 3 nights ago. I'm afraid I have AIDS. You know,
oh my God,
that doesn't make me fucking. That doesn't. You know, I'm not gonna fucking disrespect.
Yeah, I'm not.
Fight the hand that feeds and shit.
Yeah, I'm not condoning what he does. You know, like I mean, like he shouldn't do that. Like, you know, he got into it with some of my homies and stuff. So it was like I kind of just don't really. I told that fool just not to call me no more. Like he was just texting me, writing me all this crazy shit. So I'm like, you know, don't really hit me up. But he's on some other shit, man. And you know, some people are like that. But me, I really just don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to all that shit. You know, I get people texting me and tweeting me weird shit, like trying to diss me. I'm just like, man, if I said you pay attention to these fucking guys, I would go crazy. And I just try to keep it moving, man. I don't read YouTube comments. I don't do any of that shit, man. Like that's just really what it is, man. And that's why a lot of the dudes fell to the wayside because they got to their head. It was a crazy power trip, I guess you can say.
If a lot of these fools just fucking stay humble and keep their eye on the fucking prize, they can get what they can for what it's worth. That's pretty much how I look at my fucking standpoint on it. I'm really, you know, upper mid tier, bro. I'm fucking happy where I'm at, bro. You know
hear
what I mean?
that? Listen to Uncle Cutter, man. Uncle Cutter, listen to him.
Uncle Cutter.
I'm happy you're in this platform, and a lot of you know I am invested in a lot of the fucking in a lot of the newer cats too. And Ryan, I got a couple dudes in the waiting, man. I'm gonna push your way too. I know I've thrown you a couple dudes like a SM here and there, a Latin here and there.
Yeah.
Fucking really trying to fucking you know, chip in for whatever it's worth, opposed to a lot of these dudes that just sit there and just wait for shit to fall in their laps and shit, man. Because I know that's out.
And Malathion, man, we appreciate you taking the time to take our phone call, man. We're gonna wrap up this episode, bro. But man, this was huge to talk to you, man. A very pivotal person in this whole movement, man, and nothing but respect to you, man. And I learned a lot just from talking to you, man. That's real talk.
That's what's up, man. So yeah, man, if you ever need me to jump back on, let me know, man. Holler at me. You know, you guys are my homies, man. So holler at me. And you know, if anybody wants to get a battle, King of the Dot, or you know, just King of the Dot period, just send me an email at malathion@kingofthedot.com, or just hit me up on Facebook, Malathion. Twitter is Malathion01. You know what I mean? And fucking, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure, man. And I'll be seeing you next weekend at that bowler joint.
Yeah, man. I'll see you up there next week, man. For sure.
Yeah. We
all right,
do
brother.
The pool, bro. Fresh Coast.
All right, G.
Peace.
All right, peace.